Howdy, howdy. Welcome back to Hardcore Podcast, episode 75. We're here.
All right. I'm Christopher Norwood.
And I'm Robert Melton.
Nice. Nailed it, dude.
Yeah, dude. Got to switch it up every once in a while.
Nailed it. First
I
try.
just didn't know what to say.
It's all good.
Oh, what's up, buddy?
What's up?
Not too much. Yeah, nothing at all. What do we talk about? Some video games, perhaps?
Yeah, we're definitely going to
Mayhaps?
talk about some video games. I don't think we have any Pokemon to talk about.
Not
but
yet.
I just had to mention it. I just had to say
Pokemon.
Pokemon. It's in my contract.
Pokemon.
We
It's
have to.
Pokemon, dude.
Pokemon. We have to mention it every episode.
If you don't say it correctly, you're going to get called out.
Pokemon. Like Pocket Monsters.
Pokemon.
Poke.
Pokemon. Pocket monster, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be culturally sensitive. It's pocket monster.
Why Pokemon, not Pokemon?
I don't know. I've always said Pokemon, but the little
Do people say? Oh, is
the
that
accent
how
over
it's-
the E makes it A.
Pokemon? Pokemon?
Yeah, the E with the accent makes an A sound.
Yeah, I think
So
everyone says
Pokemon.
Pokemon. Pokemon.
I guess it depends.
Guess if you say
but
it
like
fast,
around
it
here,
sounds right.
it's like
Pokemon.
Pokemon,
Yeah.
Pokemon, Pokey. I don't know, that's how I've always pronounced it, but
yeah.
I don't think it really matters.
But so this episode will air April 1st. We've got some games
Yeah.
coming out in April.
Do you know what they are?
Nope. I know some. I know we're
Okay.
getting I think the big ones are obviously, for me at least, Sandland. We do get that this month. By the time you hear this, we'll get that in a couple weeks. We get Stellar Blade, which is a very kind of like Nier Automata
Yeah.
game. 'Cause we had is PAX done or is that still going on?
I have no idea.
But
to
we
be
got
honest.
a lot of like hands-on videos of people playing some games at PAX, and I know that's a big one, Stellar Blade. And I watched a video on that, and they were saying that they took a lot of inspiration from Nier Automata. So it's very like combat heavy, sexy.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would say that one's really on my radar, but who knows? It looks interesting enough. I'd maybe play it at some point.
I watched
Maybe
some
pick
of
it
the
up on a sale down the road.
yeah, I watched some of the gameplay that was, I guess, put out through PAX, and it looked pretty damn good. I can't say I'm like excited to like buy it day one, but
Yeah.
I'll probably eventually play it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if there's like I don't know anything about the story. I feel like just based off what I've seen, it's just a very combat heavy game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it seems like. That's the only thing that I guess interests me about it.
Right. Yeah. I mean the combat
Looks
does
good.
look good.
Like,
It looks
like good combat.
like
yeah.
a platinum game.
Yeah.
You know, which is the people who made Bayonetta, Nier. So
Well, I know the
or at least
guy.
Nier Automata.
The guy that made, or one of the people that worked on Nier, is in this game. Like
Is
making
working on it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I could be was it that game? Gosh, I could be getting some games mixed up. You know what? I'm not even going to say it. I think I'm getting some games mixed up. There's some game coming out that like the music director is the person that worked on Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts, but I don't know if it was that game or not. It could have been the Trials game.
Oh, okay.
Does that come out in April?
I don't know when that
I
comes
don't
out.
think that comes out in April. I want to say those were the two big games, was Stellar Blade and Sandland. But either way, I'm excited for Sandland. I think that would definitely be a day one purchase.
What is that, like the 22nd or something?
I want to say
Can't
it's like the
remember.
16th or something like that. It could be the 20th, 22nd. Either way,
I don't
it's
know.
like the midpoint of April to the later half. It's like the later half.
Looks like
Either way.
trash, if I'm being honest. I probably won't get it.
No, that game looks beautiful.
She's going to fucking spit on his grave.
No.
Psych.
But with talk of Sandland, the anime did recently release, and
Yeah.
I seen that got a 9 out of 10,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty sweet. although it be IGN, but I did start that one, and I can say that it's been pretty good so far.
Are they doing it like by episodes?
No, it's all out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I want to say it was 8 episodes. I
Hmm.
think I'm about like halfway. I want to say I finished the 4th episode last night.
Curious where the movie fits in with that,
Yeah, I don't know.
or
I
if
have
it
no
even
clue.
does.
I
if
haven't
it's,
even
like
like
around the
looked
same.
into it. Yeah. I mean, I feel like you really could cover at least what the one novel covers, which I guess is the entirety of the story
Yeah.
within a movie.
Well, I was just curious because you know how Dragon Ball, a lot of the movies aren't even canon.
Oh, right.
So I was
Yeah,
curious
I
if
don't
it
know.
was something like that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just if it's kind of like Resurrection F, Battle of the Gods, how those are movies, but they're also arcs.
I
in
hate that.
Super. You don't
Ugh.
like that?
Well, I like the production value of the movie, but then it's like, okay, well, I could just skip a third of the anime now because it's all the same shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Because like that's how Demon Slayer did it too. Because the movie for Demon Slayer is just the first arc of the second season. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, with the
Like the train.
Mugen train
Yeah.
arc. Yeah. No, yeah, that's how
Like
it is.
I don't understand it, but
Yeah, I don't know if it's almost just like
like
a
just put
a
that budget
teaser,
into
like a
the
taste.
anime.
Yeah. I don't know why they do that like that. I don't know. But enjoying that anime. It's definitely not for everyone. Again, I think if you were into stuff like Dragon Ball, you'll enjoy it.
You just like to watch the devil, don't you?
I do love that.
Beelzebub.
I do love that little character, Beelzebub. Yeah.
Is
The
it?
Fiend Prince,
It's like. Is it?
the Demon Prince.
How would you consider that anime? Like slice of life, or like aspects of it more
Um,
cutesy than like Dragon Ball?
I just think it's just I wouldn't say slice of life, just like innocent adventure.
So you would
Just like an
consider it maybe
adventure?
like a cross between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, maybe? Is there like a little action?
Well,
Is
it
there-
definitely hasn't got to anything like Dragon Ball Z tier
right.
of like action or just depth. I know that there are some points like that, but you also had those points in Dragon Ball. So I would just really compare it to something like Dragon Ball.
Okay.
Yeah.
So don't watch Dragon Ball, guys. Watch Sandland.
I would just say if you enjoy Dragon Ball, then definitely check out Sandland.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's a fair assumption. I feel like 90% of the people watching Sandland are already fans of Dragon Ball anyway.
And it's cool because I'm sure a lot of people are watching it because of the passing.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm
so
sure the
Just a way to further honor him.
I feel like just everything Dragon Ball Z or just Akira Toriyama related has spiked probably 2,000% since his
Yeah.
passing.
And
Probably higher, to be honest.
another thing is just it's his just his style too. Not
Mm.
even just animation, but just like it's funny. Like it's fun to watch. It's entertaining. It's just his writing is
Yeah.
pretty iconic, not just his, design, not just his style, but his writing.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a lot of that within the anime and just the manga itself. And so far, with having finished just that one volume of Sandland, and with where I'm at in the anime, it's like the exact same.
Oh,
So
damn.
it's very, what's the word? Help me out here, Robert. What's the word?
Well, I'm
It's
not sure
very,
entirely.
I mean, for lack of a better term, it's just very like accurate.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There was a certain term I was looking for. I couldn't find it.
Live action.
No,
No, I'm kidding.
No, it's it'll come to me.
Epic.
Yeah, I mean it is
Super awesome.
I don't even know if I'd say it's epic. Like when I think epic, I'm thinking like Attack on Titan.
Yeah,
That is just like an epic story,
it really is.
just in size and in just every aspect.
Yeah, crazy. It's only 4 seasons. Took them like
Yeah,
12 years to do it.
3 seasons and then
2
fourth
movies.
season part 1, fourth season part 2, fourth season part 1, part 2. I don't even know.
Dude, seriously.
I don't
yeah.
even know.
Ugh.
But all that to say, some good things coming in April.
Glad to hear it.
So I guess a good segue. What have you been up to this past week.
We'll be right back after this message.
Oh, yeah. Let's hit that. Oh, my God. Robert on the keys. Every week. Season 2. That's Rob.
That's our Robbie.
Or Bobbert.
I have been... What have I been doing? I've had a pretty boring week, I think. I don't think I've really gotten into much. I started watching that Quiet on Set documentary.
Mm-hmm.
I just mentioned that before we'd started the show, but I watched like an episode and a half of that before bed last night, and that shit is crazy. Dan Schneider, real piece of shit.
Your
I mean,
days,
we've
days
known
are
that.
numbered,
They truly are.
right?
Yeah.
Like, hearing about all this stuff, I haven't watched it, but, I mean, you can't go on the internet without seeing something about it or something pop up.
Yeah.
It's crazy just to know this man is still out there innocent. I was
Yeah.
going to say that the man is still out there walking, but I guess walking free.
Yeah, he's still a free man. He put a like a retaliation video out, kind of.
Really?
It was, I mean, not literally retaliation, but like him trying to cover his tracks almost.
So,
Like he had like an interview with this guy that also was like on the set of like iCarly and shit that played this one character. But,
is it more so this guy is just a disgusting creep, or has he like done a lot of just illegal, nasty things?
I
Or is it
haven't
just
gotten.
he's just obviously a freak, like a creep.
I haven't gotten too far. I guess I think maybe there's 4 episodes. I could be wrong. I'm not entirely sure how many. But he's done illegal things. I wouldn't say he's done disgustingly illegal things. Like he's done a lot of disgusting stuff, but also illegal stuff. Like he's very sexist. Like he hired on these like 2 female writers, and basically split their salaries with each other. So they're sharing a salary essentially.
Right.
And then like there was, I don't want to get into all the details of what happened with those 2, but eventually one left because of the toxic work environment and pretty much Dan Schneider. But then he hired on a male writer, full salary, where the other one was still taking like the half salary.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually she left as well. But yeah. And then there's all the disgusting shit, like all the foot shots and all the sex jokes within the show, pretty much just like phallic objects. And
Yeah.
they show a lot of the scenes that I'm like talking about in the show or in the Quiet on Set documentary. And it's fucking wild how much shit there is.
I've just seen a lot of the clips of just kind of behind the scenes of him like hugging up on them when they're kids and like massaging them and just things like that. It's just like, all right, this stuff has obviously been out there for a while.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy just how late all this stuff is, to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously I'm glad it's now coming out. And then all the other stuff that has been happening with like, again, we don't have to go into it, but just like with Diddy and all that, all the stuff that's following.
People got power and they
yeah, me and some
they take
guys
advantage.
at work were just talking about that. Like, what is this like segue that you just see it so often now that when you have power and you got money, like, why is this like, I want children?
I'm
like,
not
what
even
is
sure.
this? Like, what happened in your life, or like, why did the money and power lead to this, or it just seems to consistently lead this way?
I don't know. It's
I don't
like
get it.
the only thing I could think of is like you have money, so a lot of things you can get with money, right? They say like money doesn't buy happiness per se, but a lot of things that can give you happiness comes from money, right? Like physical things. And when you get to a certain point in your life and you have all this money, there's only so much that excites you, I guess, that you, I guess, can't really cling to with money. And a lot of times, I guess, people go towards children. They're like, well, this is going to get my adrenaline pumping or some
Yeah.
shit. It's like, what if I, sneakily do this
Yeah.
and don't get caught? But when you do get caught, then, you ruin your whole fucking life.
That's what I always thought, and I definitely could be wrong here, but I always thought that obviously with money and power, it's like, all right, I can have sex with anybody.
Yeah.
And then you start having sex with anybody, and then that kind of loses its excitement. So then you're like, all right, I'm going to start going to orgies and start having sex with multiple people. And then
Yeah.
it may lead into, all right, well, I'm going to have this husband watch me fuck his wife. And then it leads into,
Yeah.
that doesn't excite you anymore. And then just from there, it goes on and on and on to a point to where it's like, all right, children, like that's exciting and new and like that's where my mind
Yeah,
goes.
I
Like,
mean,
is
yeah,
that,
it's a
is it-
pipeline to just worse and worse shit.
Yeah,
And I don't really get it, but I think it's just a catalyst to shit that is morally not good.
yeah. And there's just for whatever reason something exciting about that.
Yeah, I mean,
Is it like a power trip where it's like I can do this and there's nothing y'all can do about it?
I think so. Yeah, that's
know?
definitely got something to do with it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's multiple factors and layers to it, but
Yeah, but I mean, it's crazy with social media now. Like we see way more of it than we did back in the day.
yeah,
Because everything gets exposed now. Like you got fucking videos of Diddy fucking just chilling out the airport while his house gets raided.
yeah. But I had that one video of again it was Justin Bieber. He was definitely like a teenager. It was like early in his career. And he's there with Diddy and he's talking like, "Yeah, I've got him here for the weekend or for the week. We can't tell you what we're doing, but like we're just chilling,
Jesus.
man. What do you want to do? What do you want to do?" You know, it was just weird. I don't know.
P.
It's-
Diddler.
Yeah, it's
That's his new
definitely
nickname.
some dark and heavy stuff.
Yeah.
But again, it sucks that it was so late, but I'm glad it's all coming out. And I
Yeah.
think we're only going to get a lot more names. You
Oh,
know?
100%.
Like I'm waiting to like for Justin Bieber to come out and like say some things.
Mhm.
But
And you
again, I
know-
know that can be heavy, you know.
Yeah.
May not want to exactly right now. I don't know.
Yeah, you know how Drake got canceled like a year or two ago
Did he?
over like over like essay stuff? Not I don't know
You
if it
said
was
SA?
I guess it wasn't technically essay. Like, you know what I mean by that, right?
Sexual assault?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Trigger warning. But yeah.
Oh shoot, sorry.
No, you're fine. But yeah, he I guess there was a thing that he pled guilty for in court like last year or the year before, I can't remember. But basically he was texting a girl and she ended up being like 17 or something like that. And he didn't know that, and then when he found out, he stopped texting her, and then like he went to court and everything for it. But he had
Right.
to plead guilty because they wouldn't have believed him otherwise, and he would have gotten in more trouble potentially.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that came to light with this new documentary because he's in it, I believe. I haven't got to that episode yet, but
okay.
this is just stuff I've been reading online
Oh yeah, that is true.
because he came out with his story about this other guy that was on set aside from Dan Schneider
Mm-hmm.
that I believe what Drake said, he's like, imagine the worst thing that could happen to you essay wise, and that's what happened to me. So I mean, yeah, if you think about it,
Yeah.
and he was a fucking teenager, I believe, at the time,
Right.
like 14, 15, something like that. I believe it was on the like Drake and Josh, I think. Like I said, I haven't seen the actual episode yet, so.
Oh, dude. Sorry, I just realized we were talking about Drake Bell. I thought we were talking about the rapper.
No.
Well,
Well, that's true, 'cause he wasn't Degrassi.
because
He
he was on
wasn't-
Degrassi. So
that's
I was
true.
like, oh man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I should have specified with that.
Yeah, no. But now that you say that, I do remember the things with Drake a couple years ago. Yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's I believe getting some redemption now. A lot of people like have his back
Right.
and stuff
Right.
after that, which is
Yeah.
good.
That is good.
Because yeah, that sucked. Because when I heard about like his allegations, I was like, "Fuck, dude, I really like Drake Bell."
Right. Right.
I never thought that it'd be
Oh, yeah.
so simple, but
Found a way. Yeah.
yeah, it's. I'll have to dig deeper into that because I don't want to get any of that wrong as far as like his allegation shit.
Mm-hmm.
But it does seem like he didn't do anything wrong, just from what I've been seeing.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, very interesting shit.
Yeah.
A lot of shit coming out, and I've been seeing fucking Amanda Bynes on my TikTok pop up. She'll
I've been
post like
seeing her
TikToks and stuff.
popping up for the last few months, actually.
Yeah,
Um,
and she's like so not there. It's so crazy what trauma can do to you.
yeah, it's really sad.
Because they showed a lot, like the first and second episode had a lot to do with her and like her story arc and how she kind of was the catalyst that propelled Dan Schneider's career, like with all that. And then he started the Amanda show. And then, he went on to like iCarly, Drake and Josh, all that shit.
iCarly, and then just from there,
Mm-hmm.
Victoria's and all that. Yeah.
But it was just so crazy. Her personality, it was just so like invigorating. She was like so funny, and just insane that now she's just none of that's there.
Yeah.
It seems.
It's almost, and again, hopefully this doesn't come off wrong, but it's almost just like robotic in a way.
Yes. Yeah.
Monotone. But like you said, she's just like not there.
Yeah. No, she's like a shell of her former self.
Yeah. Damn, poor thing.
So, I mean, hopefully, she's doing well.
Yeah.
Oh, you can really hope. But anyway, that's some sad shit. I don't know how that.
Yeah. No.
that happened.
Sorry about that. I know that.
That's what I've been doing.
If you come here, you come to hear about video games and anime and nerdy shit, and I'm sure you've heard enough. I guess. Well, that sounds bad. You should definitely be in the know with this stuff, but I'm sure you see it everywhere.
It's 'cause I've been seeing this documentary come about, since it came out.
Yeah.
And I had like no actual intention of watching it, but last night I was like, I don't got nothing else to watch, so I'm just gonna put it on. And I stayed up for quite a while after my bedtime, just so intrigued with how fucking crazy that story is.
Man. Damn.
So
yeah, I
definitely give it a watch.
I definitely want to check that out, but just know that it's something heavy.
Yes,
right?
trigger warning.
Trigger warning. It's
for sure.
Heavy.
So yeah, that, and I've been playing Dragon's Dogma.
That's what I was waiting for.
Dragon's Dogma 2 just came out last Thursday evening, I guess, technically. Last Friday. It officially dropped for everybody, but yes, I've dumped up around 34 hours into it thus far.
Okay.
Which is a lot more than I put in for the first week of Final Fantasy.
And a lot more than I put into Dragon's Dogma.
Is it? How many?
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised.
Yeah. I haven't picked it up in a while.
Oh. Yeah.
I say a while. It literally came out less than a week ago, but...
Yeah. I feel like you've put in quite a bit of work, though.
10 hours.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's enough to where, like, I feel like I can maybe say some things about it. But I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah, so, fuck, dude. When I first started, that game was hard.
Oh, all right. So
I was getting my ass beat in
context.
some of those.
You didn't play the first one.
I've played a couple hours of the first one years ago.
A couple hours, so like an hour, because the first hour is you making your character and your pawn, right?
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just say that because...
but I don't remember shit about it.
Like the difficulty, I mean, it's been a while for me, but I don't know if this one's like any harder, but the difficulty's like just always been there.
Right.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
But yes, no, this game isn't... I mean, I don't know if I would say it's like from soft hard, but like it's not... It definitely doesn't hold your hand.
No, it's much easier now that I know like what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And what to expect really.
Mm-hmm.
But when I first started, I was like, "Holy fuck, dude!"
Yeah.
Like they're kicking my ass.
It's not like a game you just kind of hack and slash your way through.
Yeah, you got to be
for sure.
Kind of strategic.
Yeah. And there's just other areas that it's kind of harder
Mm-hmm.
in. Like, again, you're not fast traveling everywhere. You're definitely not fast traveling
Yeah.
everywhere. So, like, in that regard, well, I know that can throw a lot of people off, but it's if you're here and you got this side mission all the way over here in your map, I mean, unless you've got like a fairy stone or something, that's an adventure. That's like a couple hour adventure just to get there, which a lot of people are really enjoying that aspect of.
No, it's
pretty
awesome because you'll come across a path that you didn't take before,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe you get stuck traveling in the middle of the night, and then you come across other foes,
Yes.
and
Oh man, at
different
night.
shit happens at night.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
a different world.
At night, look for the fire.
Seriously,
It's time
dude.
to rest.
It's fucking
because
scary out
it
there.
is brutal. Should we talk about like the bad first? Is it okay if we do that?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay, because I think I'm gonna be very fair because I only have 10 hours in,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I really don't think I'm for those 10 hours. I don't think I'm far at all. But yeah, let's talk about the bad first because I think we kind of have two different opinions about this game so far.
Perhaps. So the bad, first of all, performance, absolute dog shit.
That's definitely the worst.
Yeah.
The worst thing about it, and I think
One of the worst PC ports. Well, it's not even a fucking port, but
yeah.
one of the worst launch performances, probably. Honestly, I think Cyberpunk ran better than that.
Well, the thing for PC,
Yeah.
we were the lucky ones. Now it's flipped.
Oh, really? Is it really bad on like PS5?
No. I'm saying it's worse on like PC. Like I wish I would have got this for the PS5.
You think it's better on there?
I think it's just more consistent.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Whereas, yeah, but for Cyberpunk on the PC, like it was very playable.
Yeah.
Like that was still a good experience for us.
Yeah.
But, and again, I had prefaced this last week. Like I have a pretty powerful PC, but not the strongest. It's
Mhm.
not like a 3080, 3090, 4070, nothing like that. I got a 2080 Super. But even with that, it is just, and I think I had it running pretty, like I had the presets. It was custom, but
Yeah.
most stuff was pretty up there. I wasn't like running low, but it was just not a good looking game.
Yeah. Even if I turn like some of the settings down, it's like still pretty consistently shitty.
Yeah.
And I'm playing at 1440p on a 3080. And I tried 1080p and it didn't look like there was a fucking difference.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the performance is pretty dog shit. I mean, I get okay like frames. Like it jumps up to like fucking 100 at times. Like when I'm outside of the cities are just awful.
The cities are
Because of all the
definitely the worst
NPCs.
areas. Yeah. I hear the game's very like CPU.
It
heavy.
is. And I set my CPU to high priority when I'm watching the game. So,
Yeah, and I'm probably not doing everything I could just because even like that, like I don't really
Yeah.
grasp things like that. But outside of the city, I'm still hitting like 50s.
yeah.
You know, I hit the 60s and may drop down to the 40s, which isn't bad. It's still very playable, but when it's just so inconsistent, it looks like shit.
Yeah.
Just with all the stuttering, you would almost prefer a steady 30 frames.
Oh, 100%.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, stuttering is absolutely fucking annoying.
And the best way that I can put it, why I really just hate how bad it performs and just with what we got. Because, I mean, if you listen to previous episodes, we were so excited. I mean, I
Mhm.
think the last thing I said in the last episode was like, all right, well, now we're going to go play a shit ton of Dragon's Dogma,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and only play 10 hours. So Dragon's Dogma, the first one, came out 2012, the year we graduated.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are getting the second one 12 years later. And like, this is what we have. This is what you've given us after 12 years.
Yeah.
Now, think about God of War 2018. You know what God of War we got 12 years prior? 11 years prior, we got God of War 2. So within 11 years, you went from God of War 2 to God of War 2018.
Yeah.
World of a difference. And you're telling me we went from Dragon's Dogma 1, 12 years later, to Dragon's Dogma 2? It's unacceptable. I'm sorry.
I gotta agree, especially
It's
for
just-
Capcom.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
It looks so last gen.
It truly does.
It looks so last gen. And again, with a game like that, it's people are playing it for the gameplay.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into. But I think that I would probably have a different, like if I was to score the game right now, I would have a different score if it performed better.
Oh yeah.
So I want to get into it, but I'm like, I don't know if I'm just ready to play it right now. I almost want to wait till they release some updates or patches or something.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to spend another $70 to get it for the PS5.
Fuck no.
Yeah. I mean, I knew that this wasn't going to get me anywhere, but I did try, what is it called?
Rise of the Ronin?
No, getting my money back. I tried to...
oh, you tried to refund it?
I tried to refund it.
Oh, that's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, refunding with 10 hours, that's not going to get you anywhere.
Yeah.
But I thought that maybe with all the negative feedback that it was worth a try.
Yeah.
But
yeah, most of that negative feedback was actually for the DLC, which is fucking insane how fast misinformation spreads. Because people are bitching about all the DLC.
like the microtransactions?
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know why I'm saying DLC. Yeah, the microtransactions.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm kind of, I mean, I'll give you a little pass for that. But I'm not even really bringing that up. I mean, now we could talk about it. But my thing is, like, you have to be aware of the stigma that is attached to microtransactions.
Oh, yeah.
And if it's things that you can get in the game, why did you even have them? If you know the stigma that's attached to them, and even if it's, like, fair, you know the type of players, you know how gamers are, they're going to bitch. Like, why did you even do it?
Well, it's crazy the amount of Capcom games that actually have similar systems like that. I can't even name any of off the top. Well, I know Monster Hunter, for one, has a lot of that stuff.
And maybe I'm just unaware because, like, Monster Hunter, I'm thinking of kind of bigger Capcom games.
Yeah.
Like, I like Capcom, but I haven't really gotten into a Capcom game in so long. I couldn't get into Monster Hunter. Haven't really gotten into, like, Resident Evil. So the Capcom games that I've played, I don't recall anything like that. But again, it's been a while.
Yeah. So I don't really care about the microtransactions. I do hate that they're getting a lot of hate for it because it's all shit you can earn in-game. The ones that they do have on the store are only purchasable one time. It's basically to progress you if you are that impatient that you need, 5 fairy stones to do whatever with. And yeah, I mean, a couple bucks, which is still kind of crazy for a fucking fairy stone.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
like, there's mods out there. You can get mods.
Yeah, that is true.
You can get infinite of those resources if you're playing on PC. Unfortunately, you're kind of fucked if you're playing on a console in that regard, but
right.
Play the game.
That comes with
you
the
can
territory.
Earn it.
Yeah.
If you search for a pawn within the rift, that will reward you a fairy stone for an ogre kill, for instance. Just do that. That's easy.
Yeah.
So the microtransaction discussion is stupid, but everybody thinks that they're like selling these microtransactions for shit that you can't earn in game, and that's not the case.
Yeah. No, I mean, when I was looking at, like, reviews, like on the Steam page, for example, I'm not taking to heart someone who's like, fuck this game, microtransactions. Like,
yeah.
I get it, but I just don't know. It's like you're unaware. Like, oh man, if we put this in, like, people are going to be okay with that. Like, no, it doesn't matter. Once people see just that there's whatever it is, if there's a microtransaction, they're going to fucking riot and not play your game or just say some shit about it. Like, why even put it in there at all? That's so risky. I guess that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Like, why would you even do that?
It's true. I'm sure it's strayed a lot of people from buying it.
Yeah,
A
absolutely.
lot more money they probably would have made had they not put the microtransactions in there. It's like,
Yeah.
who the fuck is buying that shit?
Yeah.
I don't know a single one of our friends that would buy those microtransactions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely not. And not that I was trying, but in the 10 hours that I played, I think I came across like 4 fairy stones,
Mm-hmm.
so like
Yeah.
they're not super easy to find, but like, you put the time in, like you can acquire them, you can run into them. And that was me not really seeking them out.
Yeah.
I was just like organically finding them.
Between that and the cosmetic books, I believe they
Yeah.
actually just updated it because there was an update a couple days ago
Oh,
to where there's more of those books and you can get them earlier in the game if you
okay.
want to.
Yeah.
Kind of dumb though. Just customize the character you want the way you want it in the first go, and you don't have to really worry about that. But
yeah.
it is a thing. But now you can earn more of those wake shards, to revive you or your ally
Mm-hmm.
or NPCs. You find a lot of those within the world.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, they're
So,
everywhere.
Yeah.
Don't get too close or you're going to force dialogue.
Yeah.
They just go straight to, I can do this, 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 and this.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, I don't, aside from that, not being able to fast travel as often does kind of suck, but I mean, it's built into the game. It's been into the game since the first one, I believe.
Yeah. Well, my thing is there, and again, maybe this is unfair, but like what they did with that, I think is pretty cool because it's very different. Not many games do that. Again, we spoke on it like last week or the week prior, just how like dynamic the world is and how they wanted it to be like an actual adventure to where you're not just fast traveling everywhere. But I think that the players that really care about that, like, make it to where you can fast travel. But the players that really care about that are just not going to fast travel, and they're just going to travel like how you have the game now.
Yeah, I agree.
I just don't see the issue with just having that in there.
Yeah,
You're just going to reach more of a player base, which I feel like when you're putting out a game, like nowadays, isn't that kind of what you want to do?
Right.
Like, I mean, it sounds shitty because you would hope that there's developers out there just kind of creating a game that they want to create and not just trying to make money, but taking a step back, at the end of the day, you're trying to make money, So wouldn't you want to put that, make that game and put that out there to reach a broader fan base?
Right. Dragon's Dogma is quite literally the worst game to play as like a dad or mom, like a parent or a person that can only play like an hour a day or a couple hours because you can't fucking make any progress if you can't like fast travel.
And that's another thing. Again, like I wanted to preface that I kind of like that they're doing this, but it's almost like just not even the game for someone like me who's trying to, I'm trying to hit some goals. I'm trying to beat some games, but it's like, okay, cool.
Mods, Chris.
Get
some mods.
In that 5 hours, I got 2 side quests done.
Yeah.
Sick. But again, there's another side to that where it's like, well, I mean, it's a $70 game. Don't you want a game where you really get your money's worth?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I see both sides.
Yeah. Between that, and you do have the option of the ox cart. You might just run into some baddies on the way to your destination.
You
might
will
take a little longer.
Run into some baddies. Yeah.
Might take a little longer, but it does have options, just not as fluid as some people would like.
It's just like this game with the ox cart. Like, that's another really cool thing. It's like they were trying some new things. So I feel like if there's a Dragon's Dogma 3, like, it's going to be lit. Just because, like, it seems like they're trying some new things with, like, the ox cart and some other things. But, like, it's not perfected.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like it could be better. Like, I feel like it's just a weird system to be like, hey, you can take this to the town, and you can just kind of chill out and just look at the scenery the whole time, or you can skip. Yeah. But you're not really going to skip. You're just going to skip to the combat parts.
Pretty much.
It's just, that's a weird system.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, like, is this realistic?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want it to be realistic, like who's gonna just kind of sit there in this slow ass ox cart?
It's so
Like
fucking slow.
you're going to skip, but it's just you're skipping to battles. It's like I'd rather just fucking run.
Yeah, you quite literally, like, without even sprinting, your character just walks faster than the cart.
Yeah.
It's so fucking slow.
Yeah. If it was like a horse carriage or something, and we're just fucking getting some umph, then I could see it.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. That
Like,
was just a weird
Fucking
system.
Tame a Griffin, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Where are we?
It was just a weird system where I'm like, I see what you're doing, but like that could work a little better. That
Like,
needs to be
even-
perfected.
Even if you have to get to a point in the game to where you could, like, fucking take control of a griffin, that would be
Oh
sick.
yeah, that would be cool.
Because it's obviously possible you can ride a damn griffin.
Yeah, you definitely can. It doesn't want you riding, but
Yeah. Even the dragons. It's fucking crazy.
yeah. All right, so again, performance is the main thing, and just one thing I'm trying to figure out how I could really explain this. And I know I told you about this, but just early on, especially, again, only 10 hours in, just some of the scenes, the dialogue, and just how after dialogue or during dialogue it would like transition to the next scene or back to gameplay. It just felt so not polished
No.
and not well done.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, like,
Very rocky.
like I remember early on when you like reach the first main city and you're talking to that guard and like he's playing the part where he's like, there's already an arisen. What are you doing here?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I'll be the one to take him to the cell. Boom, you're at the cell or wherever you warp to. And it's like, don't worry, I was just messing around. I really truly
Yeah.
believe you to be the risen. It was just like instantly. It's like, okay. Like I feel like that would have, I don't know, been a little more meaningful if it was like the scene of us like walking there together, or you like put me in like handcuffs or something in chains, or I don't know. It just felt weird. It was like a weird transition scene to where I was like, all right, this kind of took me out of the immersion here.
Yeah. I mean, I know, like, this game is probably meant... They probably put way more effort into the actual gameplay than that. Like, the story and the cutscenes and all that. Like,
Yeah.
that budget had to be low as fuck, dude.
Right.
But it would be nice if they at least maybe caught up to the 2010 era of cutscenes.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. So,
Like God of War 2. Still good cutscenes.
dude, still
Like, what the fuck?
an amazing game.
2005?
Yeah, no, I looked it up because I was like, what would be a good example of a game that we have now, and then what came out 12 years ago? So I looked up when God of War 2 came out, and that was 07. That was when we met.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
Fucking
wow, that was
insane.
11 years ago. But yeah, no, it's fucking insane. What we got with that franchise in just 11 years. Well, I'll say just 11 years, but in 11 years versus this.
Yeah.
But, games like FromSoft games, like obviously people love the lore there, but they're making it almost for like both parties to where it's like, FromSoft because of like the gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want some story, you got to do the digging. You got to work for it. Whereas like Dragon's Dogma, it's for the gameplay, but like you add in story there, but it's really sloppy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's weird too because I like the writing and like the old English style of, the world in
Mhm.
Dragon's Dogma, and I feel like it's pretty well done, but put some fucking effort into the actual shit, dude.
Well, you can definitely talk on that more. I mean, you've over tripled my hours. I really still don't really know what's going on in the story.
Well, I'm just even
For the
saying
most
like
part.
some of the side quests and stuff, like I do like the dialogue, but yeah, just like you said, the transitions and even just the lack of cutscenes kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's
Just
just
give us a little more.
the storytelling isn't like done well. Like even dialogue, especially like side quests. Like probably for the first couple, I was just kind of like listening again, like, all right, what is actually going on here? But
Mhm.
I got to a point. I'm just kind of skipping it now because
Yeah.
you're not. I don't care. Like make me care, But like as of right now, like I don't care just with
Yeah.
the delivery of it. You know?
Yeah. Definitely sucks.
Yeah. But I would say again, just within my 10 hours, those are. Oh, another thing, and again, I did see that some people actually really like this, but I don't like not being able to lock on to enemies.
Um, I've gotten
Personally,
used to it,
me
but yeah, I
personally.
do. I'm very used to locking on to enemies. The fucking camera, especially in like tight spaces, is
Yes.
awful. It's
Yes.
fucking awful.
Exactly. Yes.
Um,
Like what was like I'm willing to hear them out. Like what was your reasoning behind this
yeah,
and not having this? Like I don't tell me difficulty because the most difficult games I can lock on to every single enemy that I want to.
yeah,
You know? So like why?
yeah. I'm not too sure. I mean, your character does a good job at like hitting the enemies. I guess when you don't. Obviously, there's not an option to lock on. So, but yeah, sometimes it just doesn't do it.
Yeah, well I don't like if like a harpy for example.
Yeah,
If that thing's
they're
above
fucking
me,
annoying.
I'm just trying to point towards it and like do something. You
Mm-hmm.
know, use a spell to like hit it to bring it down, but I'm just fucking shooting into nothing.
Yeah,
You know? Simply if I could just lock onto it, it would fix that.
that's
I
true.
just want to know why. And again, that's kind of not the biggest deal because the combat is still pretty good. But I didn't like that. I was like looking it up because I'm like, dude, I got to be able to lock on. Like, how do I lock on? What am I
Mm-hmm.
missing here? And it's like, nope, nah.
Yeah,
And I don't even remember if you could do it in the first game. If I'm being honest, maybe
yeah.
it was
I'm
out
not sure.
altogether.
But hey,
But
give us the option.
I know, just give us the option, please. Pretty please. And again, like you said, I'm playing on PC. I'm sure there's some type of mod. I imagine that's
There
an easy
is.
mod to make.
Yeah, there is a mod for that. There's a FOV mod.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about the camera distance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's quite
Well,
a few
again,
mods out there.
we're kind of talking in general. I don't want to just say like, "Hey, this game's amazing for PC players." You know?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, obviously not. Just with the performance. But yeah, that's definitely again.
these are all things that should have been accounted for at the beginning. Like this is a AAA game studio that's got so many years of video game development experience,
Yes.
and just this is like indie titles do this shit way better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Studios have no money, fucking people sitting at home just making
Yeah.
games, doing shit way better than they fucking I guess didn't do.
Yeah, and in my opinion, it's just I don't think this game was finished. I don't think this game was ready to
Yeah.
come out. And I've seen it's crazy. We were talking about this, just how like polarizing this game is. People either this is fucking game of the year, or this game is a 4 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's so polarized, and I haven't seen that middle ground. Maybe I'm kind of the middle ground here, but there's no way. Like this is
No.
not a 10 out of 10. That's, I mean, maybe it's unfair for me to say. Like it could be your opinion, but like, can you fairly give this game a 10 out of 10 in the state it's in?
Yeah,
Like,
no, it's
no. Absolutely.
it's
not.
actually insane
Yeah.
coming from like Final Fantasy Rebirth to this
I know.
because that game
again,
is so polished, not a fucking issue in sight.
dude, can you imagine if Dragon's Dogma 2 was a PlayStation exclusive? How
Yeah.
fucking amazing the game would look
Mhm.
and how amazing it would run.
Yeah,
Dude, I wish.
Yeah. yeah, it's kind of crazy.
But yeah.
I mean, hopefully it gets to that point, but
Yeah, no, I mean,
There's a
seriously,
lot
I
of-
hope so. I was just, again, you could tell how excited we were going into this. And I was just, and maybe it's on me, I had my expectations up here. But with what they were showing us, I was like, dude, this is looking so fucking dope.
mm-hmm.
But it really let me down.
Yeah,
And again, I don't think it's a bad, terrible game. I just am not liking it like the 10 out of 10 crowd.
yeah, I definitely
I have not
So
got
far,
into it yet.
definitely not a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Probably will never be a 10 out of 10 for me, but
Would you say that See, my thing is like I'll see gameplay and I'm like, oh man, I kind of want to hop back on, but then I remember the 10 hours and I'm like, I feel like within that 10 hours, I remember one point of having fun for like an hour of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, there was only one point where I was like, oh dude, that was pretty sick.
That's crazy.
That's it. But again, I've just played for, 10 hours.
Yeah.
I know that's
And the beginning
not
is
really
much
fair
harder.
to say.
It gets a lot easier.
Yeah. I mean, there's been some cool moments where you like running, I like how dynamic just the world is.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're traveling at night and then you go into a cave, and this cave actually has a bunch of just different paths you can take, and it'll take you up here to the mountain. Or if you hit this, there's like a secret entrance and there's a bunch of like treasure in there. Like that's cool.
Yeah.
But there was only one moment where I was like, oh dude, that was sick.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Like this is fun.
Yeah, I gotta say, all the shit we just talked about it.
What?
Huh? I'm saying all that shit we just talked about.
Oh, all that shit. Oh, okay, sorry.
With that said,
Yeah.
I fucking am having so much fun with this game.
No. I'm here for it. I
I'm
want to hear
loving
it.
it. Like,
Okay,
I'm
no. Let's
truly
hear
addicted
about
to it.
Okay.
At the moment.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I fucking put 34 hours into it in a week. Less than a week.
Yeah. No, I mean, it sounds like you're really enjoying it. I just want to hear about it. Like what is it exactly?
I don't entirely know. The pawn system is fucking cool.
See,
I love the pawns.
My thing, I think a lot of people playing this haven't played the first game, so this pawn thing is blowing their minds. But like
Yeah.
I've experienced this before.
I mean, it's
know?
nothing crazy, but I like. I haven't had really any issues with the pawns at all. I had one disappear on me last night for some reason. I don't know if they fell in the water or something. But it was like the first time, like that was the only issue I've ever had with a pawn.
Oh, okay.
So I just went to a rift, got another one.
Right.
But in 34 hours, yeah, it's like fucking seamless as hell. I'm running an archer, a sorcerer, and a mage.
I do love the customization aspect there.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is really cool. And I will say I compared it to the first one with like me knowing about this pawn system and playing it before, but like it is a lot better in this game.
Really?
Like what they did. Yeah, it's just more you can do for sure. It's like more like better AI, I guess. It's just more realistic.
Yeah, and every action you give them, they do it right away. There's no hesitancy, it seems.
That I like that. Obviously, a lot of these pawns that you're using when you go into the rift, like you're taking from but it's their pawns that you're using, and they're like, the master from my world. I remember there being a treasure chest over here or something.
Yeah.
Would you like for me to show you? Little things like that. Like
yeah,
that's
that
cool
is awesome.
how they like learn from their other playthroughs with their characters.
Yeah.
Or they're arisen. Like that's pretty neat. Or they tell you about like strategies that they've used in other worlds and just like whether they thought that was effective or not. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and they give you tons of hints for like quests, which is really useful. There was a couple that I kind of got stuck on. They were like, oh, come over here, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really cool. They'll tell you about their masters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, for some reason, my master only traveled with women. So curious.
And your pawn's like, I will do to take note of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hilarious, some of the shit they say, but
yeah.
Yeah, no, I like the pawns a lot. So much so that I would like to lay upon my nuts on your face.
Oh, nice.
Got 'em.
Really, really cool to do with all the shit that's been coming out lately. Smooth.
Yeah. Dragon's Dogma lore.
No, kidding.
I have arisen.
Hey.
Oh, fuck. Cringe.
We like it. Don't like being a part of it, but
Okay, so
Sometimes can't help it.
what vocations have you been using, or have you used?
All right, so when I started with Ranger. And very early on, I was just like, I know it was going to get a lot cooler because we've seen like
Yeah.
gameplay from the Mystic Ranger or whatever the Magic Ranger is,
Mm-hmm.
and that looked fun. That looked cool. But early on, I was just like, I don't know if I'm feeling this.
Dude, I gotta say, I had to switch vocations to an archer for a quest.
Mm-hmm.
It was fucking awful.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, low level vocation archers are just so fucking bad.
I admit it'll probably get a lot cooler later on.
Yeah.
It was just early on in game. I was like, I don't want to just deal with this. Like, I want to get to something fun and then maybe go back to it.
Yeah.
And I'm just not that. I'm not really the support kind of guy. You know, I'll hang out in the back. I got him.
It's like the perfect thing
It's just
for
not me.
a pawn. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because like
absolutely.
with harpies, I'm just like, all right, just fucking deal with them.
Right. Yeah.
So I'll just fucking roll out of the way, wait till they hit the ground, just knock their ass out.
Mm-hmm. So I went from Ranger to Thief, and I was like, okay, this is sick. This is obviously more me. Like, I'm kind of the rogue guy. I like playing as a rogue character, and that was just, fast and fun.
Dude, the Thief is fucking OP as hell.
And it's
That's
just
what
like
I'm playing
their
now.
moveset is so cool.
Yeah. So I've done the Archer, the Warrior. What was the first one?
Fighter.
I did the Archer, the Fighter, the Warrior, and Thief. And the Thief is by far the best that I've used so far.
Oh, okay.
I think I might be like rank 7 in vocation.
Oh, nice.
So some of the skills you get are fucking OP as hell.
Oh, I bet.
Easily, yeah. Way funner. Way more fun than the other vocations I've tried thus far. I haven't tried any of the mages or any of that stuff yet. Didn't you say you did the what's the one with the
I was the
pole
spear.
arm? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Mystic Spear arm or something, spear hand or
Yeah.
something. I don't remember what it's called exactly.
But you unlocked that one, right?
But yeah, once I got to the point of unlocking that, I remember seeing all the videos about it, like people saying, this is the one I went with. This is a lot of fun.
Because that's like the jack of all trades guy, right?
No, that's the
it's not.
Warfare.
Oh, Warfare. Okay.
Which I mean, again, 10 hours in, I haven't ran into that
I
yet.
haven't unlocked any of those. I did just unlock the Trickster, which I have not used yet. But I haven't unlocked any of the other ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder if you have to do... Because this was... it was really cool getting to it, because this seemed like it was going to be the smallest little side quest that ended up leading to it. It was like something much bigger going on.
Oh.
But before I get into that, yeah, I liked the... I'm just going to call him the Spear Wielder. The Spear Guy. I'll call him Spear Guy. That was pretty cool. I liked a lot of the skills that you could use. I was kind of already used to the Thief just with how fast it was.
Yeah,
so
fast.
It definitely slowed me down a little bit, but it is very powerful. The one thing I didn't like with going to that was being a thief, you can dodge.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have that using the spear.
Yeah.
Whatever that action button, your like R1 or right bumper button is, he like has this like spell that he's able to use. It's just like a little weak spell, but you can like charge it up to like kind of slow enemies down, and it was super helpful. But it was just really nice in those instances, because I would like want to get all close and personal, and not being able to dodge, especially fighting something like a ton of goblins or like wolves. Like, it's nice to be able to dodge.
Yeah.
So I missed that, but I mean, they got to balance it somehow, right? But I liked it. But what was really cool is, again, that quest that led into it, because right when you get to the big city, you run into the guy who's running the ox cart.
Yeah.
We good?
Yeah, we're good.
You run into the guy that's running the ox cart, and he's like, hey, I need to take this letter to somebody in, I think it was called Melv. It's one of the first little towns you get to. And he's like, I just need someone to make sure we get there safely, because this letter needs to, it needs to be delivered to them.
Okay, I did that.
Oh, you did that?
Yeah.
Because that's what took me to, when I got there, there was a dragon there.
Yeah. I fought that.
Oh, you did?
Mhm.
Oh, well, after that, there's a guy there who kind of came and talked to me. Or I can't, maybe I went and talked to him, but he was one of the guys that was helping us take down the dragon.
Yeah.
And he was the one who taught me that vocation.
Oh. Hmm.
So I'm wondering if you just didn't talk to him, or if in my gameplay or my playthrough he was there and just wasn't there for you.
Well, I know
which
the
would be kinda
one
cool.
guy gave me the thing for the warrior vocation, like the maester skill for it or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, maybe I don't know. I'll have to look into that though, because that's strange. Because I definitely did that quest.
Yeah, I got it really early on. Which,
Hmm.
I mean, that quest is pretty early on. But that moment fighting the dragon, that was that moment for me where I was like, "Oh, this is sick."
Yeah.
Do you? How did that that quest kind of play out for you? Let me start with that. Let me start with asking that.
Oh
Did you
god.
just go there and like, yeah, I just fucking killed the dragon. I just grinded.
Well, I
and
didn't
just
even
fucking-
kill it.
Oh, you didn't?
No. Were you supposed to kill it?
So, again,
For me,
yeah, how did
I
play
like
out?
got maybe like 2 HP bars down, maybe, and then it just flew off.
Oh,
So maybe that's why.
Okay, maybe.
Because I figured, since its HP pool was so big, that it would just, I would just find it in like another town or something. I had no idea that you were able to kill it at that point.
So, I don't know if this is going to sound as badass as it was in the moment playing this, because fighting the dragon, it was like pretty easy, like just to like kind of get underneath him or get behind him and just start
Mhm.
wailing on him.
Hit his
But-
heart.
But he did have a huge just health pool. And I
Yeah.
was like, this is going to take forever, because he
Mhm.
had like fucking Kid Boo
Seriously,
seven
dude.
health slots. Well, previously, when I was in that town, I was just kind of, exploring the area. And
Yeah.
I went to the tower, and there's a ballista up in the tower.
I did not think about that until after.
Dude. But the thing is, when you're fighting the dragon, you're like, there's no way. Because it's
Yeah.
so far off.
Yeah.
Dude, I went up there, and it was just so realistic, because I got on there, and I'm like pulling the
Mhm.
arrow back, but I'm not able to move. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I can't do that. But then I see that it's on some type of like a rail.
Yeah, you got to get off and
So
like, push
I got
it over.
off, and I'm just like cranking this thing, and it's turning, and I'm like, dude, is this gonna work? So I get on there, I'm cranking it back. I'm just waiting to like time it just right, because he'll fly up and do something, then go back down. So I hit his wing the first time, and you could tell it like hits him,
Mhm.
but I can't see his health. So I'm like,
Oh.
all right, let's try this again. Crank it back, time it right. That second one just fucking spears him and kills him.
No way.
Dude, yes. And I was like, this was pretty fun. That
That's
was pretty
so
cool.
sick.
Just like how organic that was, because I didn't like look up anything or like how to kill this dragon quick. I just was thinking like, wait a second, there's a ballista up there. Let me see if I can shoot it. Because in that first opening scene, they shoot that ballista and it hits
Yeah.
the griffin. So I'm
Mhm.
like, fuck, I wonder if I can do that.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Damn. Yeah. I didn't even
And the
think
pawns
about.
respond to it. And they're like, whoa, I would have never thought about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I was like, that is so sick.
So maybe when I invite Aurora to my world and go to Melv, she'll be like, "My master used that ballista once."
Dude, yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. And I feel like, man, that's why I just really wish the performance was there, because I really do want to like hop on and like just give it another go. But I feel like the game is probably scattered with moments like that, just like
Oh, yeah.
optional ways to like approach it,
Mm-hmm.
which is just, I love moments like that. Like that was so cool. Like,
Yeah.
that was a lot of fun. But yeah, that was the one time where I was like, all right, we're having fun. Like, this is dope. Let's keep going.
Yeah. No, that's sick. I do know. There's like. Medusa's in the game
Mm-hmm.
because at the beginning I think you
that was
fight
the
her.
only one I had fought. Yeah, just
Yeah.
that first one.
I haven't fought her. Since that moment at the beginning of the game, but
Oh, is it just
apparently-
that one? I didn't know if it was just a common enemy.
Oh, I don't
type.
know. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
okay.
But I've seen on like TikTok and Instagram, apparently you can cut her head off obviously, Medusa's head.
Right.
And I guess you can use it. It's like maybe a one-time use thing, I'm assuming.
Ooh.
And you can petrify like a fucking dragon and just smash it in one hit.
See, like, imagine, like, not looking that up
Yeah.
and, fighting the Medusa, cutting the head off, and you're, like, not knowing, like, all right, maybe this is a one-time use, so I'm just going to hold on it just in case.
Mm-hmm.
And then coming across a dragon, it's a bitch, but you have this idea, like, oh, I wonder if this will work. It works, one hit, and it just shatters.
Yeah.
Like, imagine, dude, you would have chills in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that must have been so cool for the first person to, like, find that out.
Seriously.
Like, oh my God, this works. Do this.
Well,
Dude.
I did learn about it prior that you could, I guess, petrify an enemy. Because
Mhm.
there's one dude that gives you a quest to, like, he wants to sculpt a griffin.
Oh,
And he's like, you could go off over here. Or, well, he doesn't really even tell you where, I don't think. But he's like, you can find a Gorgon's head and petrify it for me. But unfortunately, I did not do that because I don't know where the fuck it's at. So,
right.
yeah, did not do that for the quest. Just ended up attacking the griffin.
But it was cool that you had the option.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, it's definitely cool. A lot of those quests have variable outcomes, which is pretty sick.
Yeah, I remember reading about that some of them are kind of timed. Like, hey, if you don't do this now,
Mhm.
there's going to be consequences or something could happen
Yeah,
to change, like, the outcome of how this, would have ended if you would have taken it on now or earlier, which is cool. Like, that's a cool system
yeah.
to have in an RPG especially. But, yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I really do wish that I would have gotten it for, like, the PS5. And maybe I need to, like, mess with my settings again, because I haven't tried, like, capping out at 30 just to see how the game would perform. Like, I wonder what I could get the game to look like if I made it look as pretty as possible, capped it at 30 to where it still looks good but plays at that kind of, like, 30 max without
Mm-hmm.
dropping down too much. It's worth a try.
I'd plug in your like PC specs into Google and see like what the best options are.
Yeah, I'll have to do that.
Test that out maybe, and then definitely set your CPU to high priority when you run it.
So, like, that's not an in-game setting, is it?
No.
Okay.
No,
'Cause
when
again,
you
I just
run
know nothing.
when you run Dragon's Dogma, you can set it as the highest priority for your CPU to use.
So does that really help?
It
Like
definitely. I think I've seen maybe like a 10 frame boost
That's
at
a
least.
lot.
It's pretty significant.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Depending on the card or your CPU, I guess it always depends on how much output your GPU is giving you.
I can't remember if I had, because I know I have an Intel. I want to say it's from, like, the 9th gen.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't remember if it was like an i5 or i7. I want to say i5, like i5 9600 something.
Yeah.
But I know at the time, like, it was like a really good card. I mean, still a pretty good card.
Yeah, I'm sure it's still, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think it's like an AMD that has 36 cores or whatever.
Yeah.
Nothing like
The
that.
hyper thread.
Yeah, nothing crazy like
64.
that. Which I imagine something like that would be really good for a game like this.
I assume so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this one uses a lot of that shit.
So for me, the game does have, like, a ton of potential, but that just really bummed me out.
Yeah, definitely.
With what we got to how it performed, that really bummed me out.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, there's no reason a game that looks like this should be optimized that shit.
Yeah. But even if I had, like, a 4090, and I mean, I don't know if you could really play it 4K maxed out 60 frames even with that card, but let's say you could, like, I feel like I still would have been like, 2024, I'm still expecting a little more.
Oh, yeah.
Like, again, going back to, I feel like when we talk about just amazing looking games, we always go to Ragnarok. But like
Mhm.
that's just kind of like that's what I'm expecting now.
It's the flagship nowadays.
You know, like that's what we need to be at.
Yeah.
You know, it definitely shouldn't be looking like a damn PS4 game. You know,
I mean, like I said,
after 12 years, and
talking
again,
a triple A studio
yeah,
put this up.
yeah, and you
And
know,
not the game is fucking good. It's fun,
yeah,
but you gotta optimize a game that looks like this. You know.
the game is even with me saying like only really had fun in like one moment. I think it would have been there more if just I didn't have all this stuff holding me back,
Mm-hmm.
because I just would have stayed in it longer and probably come across more just fun things.
I'll tell you what, the fucking inventory management was pissing me off so much. That shit is
That's
so
another
annoying.
thing, dude.
Like
Well,
I
it's
downloaded a
just-
mod immediately. I was like, let me see what mods are here. Zero weight everything. I was like,
Dude.
fuck this.
Yeah, because it's just. I mean, I feel like I'm holding. Oh, dude, if you have like camp supplies, you're fucking done, dude.
Oh yeah, you're fucked.
You're fucked. I feel like I can hold like 10 things, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I guess my pawn's gonna hold this. Oh,
Yeah.
they're already very heavy or whatever.
Yeah, especially if you're
They're
like
over encumbered, just fucking looking.
seriously, dude.
I'm like, okay, I guess I'll throw this in storage
Mm-hmm.
because I
Yeah.
don't want to sell anything. It's like, oh, may need
I
this
know,
later. May
I
need
know.
this later.
There's a lot of quests that I've had that have just been like, I need 5 apples, I need 2 fish, I need a rotten fish, I need fucking stupid shit
Yeah.
that like I would have gotten rid of or I would have made consumables out of.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, well, guess I'm fucked. And then I found that mod. And like inventory management is so fucking annoying. It's just a waste of time. Like if I could
It
just
is.
collect things, I'll even deposit them in my box. I just want to collect
Well-
them, not even fucking think about it.
I think again, just with them hitting on like, hey,
And I get the realism aspect.
I mean,
that's what they're going for.
that's
but
really it. You know, like, hey, we don't want you to be able to just fast travel in the blink of an eye. We want to make it realistic, like it's an actual journey.
But if we're going for realism, get rid of the griffins, get rid of the ogres, get rid of the magic.
Well, I'm saying like a realistic fantasy adventure.
I cast
Not
a
in
spell. No
comparison.
wait.
Like if you're going for realism, fucking magic, not real.
Yeah. Elves.
What the fuck? That's funny. But whenever I do hop back on, I need to immediately download that.
Yes,
'cause
it's
I feel like I
very
don't
useful.
mind weight. It's just it's done too bad.
It's fucking
too
awful.
Fucking like really, my guy can hold 30 pounds. Really?
yeah.
Like, come on. Actually, I
Like,
can't. I can't even hold that. I think I'm at like 22 pounds right now,
Yeah.
and I've been finding them fucking golden beetles everywhere, dude.
Oh, they give you 0.0150 or
Yeah.
point zero 0.015.
I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, what the? Why?
Yeah.
Where did that number come from?
I don't know.
Dude, let me hold an extra 2 pounds per one, you know?
Seriously.
At that point, then I'm like, all right, this is fair. Like, I found enough to where at least I'd then be able to hold maybe like 50 pounds.
Mhm.
But I mean, you find 50 of them, you're like, oh, nice. You can hold an extra 3 pounds.
Pretty much.
Like, what? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's fucking insane. I don't really get
Why
that.
even add that item in the game? It's not going to make a difference. I can hold an extra half a camping set.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, after you fucking go out and collect a shit ton of them.
Shit. What was I going to say? I was going somewhere with talking about, yeah, if the game just performed better, I think I would have had more fun. But ultimately, I think this game is definitely not for everyone.
Oh, hell no.
This game is definitely not for everyone. I would say more so if you're kind of into like the FromSoft stuff, maybe maybe try this. Just because, not that they play similarly, but if you like,
It's like the most similar game to it,
yeah,
I think.
if you kind of thrive off of like difficulty,
Yeah.
maybe more realistic games, or like make you work for it, not hold your hand, then you'll like a game like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair to say.
Yeah. If you just like feeling like a badass and hacking and slashing your way through, not dying, just fucking main protagonist energy at all times, then
Mhm.
this is not the game for you. But
Yeah, it's fun to like you'll be in like a tough ass battle Your pawns just start dropping one by one. You got to go fucking scoop them up, run away, fucking revive them.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially if you have a
That shit's hardcore.
fighting a fucking.
Like a minotaur or something. Have you fought one of those yet?
I have. I fought one. And I wouldn't have guessed that was a minotaur just because it's like
I thought it was an
it's
ox.
built weird.
Yeah.
But if you're fighting anything big
That shit scared me the first time
and
I
you
fought
just
it.
kind of get right close and personal, and you got a mage in your party, they're dropping every couple minutes.
Yeah. That's very true. Yeah, I was getting my ass kicked the first time I fought one of those.
A minotaur?
Yeah. I was just walking down the road. Fucking dude just decks me out of nowhere.
Yeah. Dude, imagine coming across that thing at night.
I think it was like
because they will
Twilight
come
when
like
I came across it.
like around a corner and just fucking
Yeah.
blindside you.
Yeah.
I do like that. Like the lighting is done pretty well. Like
Yeah.
when it's nighttime, it's dark.
Mm-hmm.
It's dark, and you do have like a little lamp, but
Yeah,
like,
it's like actually kind of scary.
Yeah.
Venturing out there.
it like makes you kind of want to like tread very carefully and
Mhm.
just every little bit of flame campfire you see, you're like, all right, I'm resting. But even then, you can get attacked.
Yeah.
It's wild. That game is wild. It does some really cool things, but it just needs a lot of TLC, a lot of polish.
Yeah, and they did say that they're going to be focusing on that, I believe, with the next patch, which is good. I believe this first one, they're just fixing some bugs and some, I think some options to where I don't even think in the first game or in the released edition patch, you couldn't even lock to 30 frames, but now you can. And now you can erase your character. You couldn't do that before.
You can?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was another weird one that a lot of people were upset about.
Not entirely sure why they did that.
Yeah, that the whole one save thing was just kind of weird. Yeah, there's just some decisions made where it's like, I see why or what you're going for, but like, why people don't want this?
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah.
So if you could, if like reviewing and rating your first impression like was a thing, like what would you score it? Because we talked about the bad. You said you're still having a ton of fun. You're like pretty much like obsessed right now. Like what would you, given everything?
I gotta go 7.
7.
I give it a 7.
Okay.
It is a very fun game, but there's a lot to it that is just pretty much just bullshit. And that the microtransactions does not affect that score whatsoever. It's just all the other shit combined.
Yeah. Well, I just think, again, we talked about it a little bit, but I was trying to put like my thoughts towards it. I was trying to put that on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't think, for me, you still don't get a pass, though. Just because, like, don't play dumb, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you knew what would happen. You can't be surprised that people were pissed.
Yeah, I mean, as a business model, it's just kind of dumb because it did tank their fucking reviews like so crazily.
Exactly.
And you would have made
Shitty
way more
risk.
money from these people just buying the $60, $70,
like,
whatever.
You can't say like, oh, we were just trying to obviously make as much money as we could. Like, no, you had the hype.
Yeah.
The hype was
it was
there.
quite literally
Everyone
there.
was looking forward to this game.
And then they they didn't even say anything about that shit. Once it released, it was just on the store.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I did hear about that. Cuz
pretty grimy.
What it is. It's pretty petty. One of the guys that I was watching a video who was going over it, he had like predicted that's what was going to happen because you could see on the menu screen that there was just like a gap. He was like, "Oh, that's going to be a store. That's going to be some like transaction bullshit."
That's crazy.
Yeah. I was thinking you were going to say like an 8. Maybe like an 8.5.
I considered it, but I was like, nah.
Yeah. No,
you can't be releasing games like this.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I feel like my scale is maybe a little bit different than yours. But I would probably go 6. I'd probably go 6.
I mean, hey, it's better than your average game, I guess.
Yeah. 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 Just because, again, I do see the potential. Like, I think if this was like all these things
Yeah.
that we're talking about, like performance wise, was just cleaned up, and I should be able, the way this game looks, I should be able to run this at 1440p on Ultra, at least hit 60 frames.
Yeah.
The game that they gave us. And if
Yeah.
that's what we had, I would have had a lot more hours in, and I think I wouldn't look at a 10 out of 10 score and be like, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I would say like, I don't think so, but like I can see it.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts that this game does not run that well.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I'm just like, with the gameplay y'all showed us, what were y'all playing this?
Like,
bitch
you're
on?
talking about, like, Rise of the Ronin has, like, PS3 graphics. No, this shit has fucking PS3
Yeah,
graphics.
well, that was one of, I don't know what video I was watching. Maybe it was just like,
No, there's, like, points in those trailers where you're like,
yeah. But to be fair, I guess, what is that, Team Ninja? Like, all the games they've put out, they've never gone for, like, beauty.
yeah.
You know, I will say most of their games do, like, run well, just because I think that's more of a focus because they're so fast-paced.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, hey, this ain't going to be the prettiest, but we got to make sure it runs well,
Yeah.
you know? And speaking of that, Colton said he's been enjoying that game a lot more.
I think he's had, like, he's put, like, 25 hours into that game.
Which, I mean, to be fair, like, I wouldn't say bread and butter, but he's always loved those kind of games. You know, hack and slash, Ninja Gaiden style games.
Mm-hmm.
But he said he's been enjoying that. And I see that he's kind of going back and forth. I've seen he's
Yeah.
been playing Dragon's Dogma too.
Yeah, he hadn't played
More.
Dragon's Dogma for a little while, and then he got back on it last night. Me and him were in Discord playing together, and it seemed like he was like actually enjoying it again because I guess he streamed it the last time he had played it, and I
Mhm.
watched a little bit of a stream, and he was like not having a good time.
See-
I don't know what to fucking do. Blah 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 blah.
I just
And I
wonder
was trying to give him
if
some tips.
I feel like I'm just still like too early in,
Probably,
you
yeah.
know? But I'm at a point where it's like I have like a couple side missions. I just need to go out and just, you know, roam and explore, and I'm sure I'll run into shit.
Yeah.
But like the stuff I have just sounds, it's just nothing that I want to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like that one beggar. He's like talking, and the guy's like, I wonder how he's actually making all this money.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should watch him. I don't want to fucking watch him.
I
What?
know.
I don't want to do that. And then the other one's like, hey, if you want to be a warrior or a mage, you need to get these weapons. I don't want to be either of those classes, so I'm not going to do that. And it was just a couple other things like that. I didn't really have like a main quest. There wasn't any main quest
Yeah.
for me to do, at least in
That's-
that moment.
That's actually a pretty good quest, though.
Which one?
The mage one. Mage and warrior one.
Oh. Well, the thing is, I don't know what I did, but I guess I got to the area because it said I found the great sword, but I didn't find the staff. So I'm like, what did I miss? I don't even remember doing this quest. Maybe I just organically found myself in that area.
It
or
was that
something.
one with like all the saurians in it, like the lizards with like the spears.
Oh.
You have to go down there and you save that one guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
But
but
I
there's like I think a hidden path, and you may have missed it.
Oh, see, I did find myself in that area, but I wasn't even like following that one quest. I was just kind of exploring.
Yeah, you did
a
it
little bit.
organically.
Yeah. Which I did like that though. 'Cause that
Mhm.
guy's like, "Hey, help this village. Come back in a few days, it'll flourish." And then you come back and they're like, "They're back again."
I know.
You're not gonna believe this. I
Yeah.
swear this place is usually beautiful.
It's all fucking dilapidated from dragons and shit.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay. But yeah, maybe who knows? Maybe I'll tweak my settings and I'll come back next week and I'm like, dude, fucking 10 out of 10, man.
Yeah, man. Get those quality of life mods and
Yeah.
go into it. Play the game you want to play it. That way it's fun.
Yeah, that's very true. And this is a great game to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, I will say, this is an RPG, and this is a very heavy role-playing game.
Yeah.
You know, so I will say it's a great game for that. You can seriously play this game however you want to play it.
Yeah.
So that is cool. Very cool aspect.
Search for your perfect pawn.
Yeah. I mean, I do like Aurora, but I wish I would have made her her personality a little different,
You can change the personalities. You can find like items.
which I plan to do. I just haven't found
Yeah.
those items
I did
yet.
mine kind-hearted.
I did the one that, I mean, she's very bubbly, but she just wants to find a bunch of like ingredients. But I kind of want her to be
Stern.
maybe like, yeah, a little more stern and stoic. Like
Mm.
that's just kind of what I was envisioning for her.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still like her.
What is she? Archer?
No, she's just fighter.
Mage?
I haven't really
she's a
messed with her.
fighter?
She's just a fighter.
Oh,
I
okay.
haven't really messed with her just yet.
Yeah. Well, it's cool. I don't know who all on your friends list plays Dragon's Dogma, but when I go to my friends list through the Rift, I could
Mhm.
see all the pawns that my friends have.
Oh, is that how you found Aurora?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Does
But-
Colton have a pretty good pawn?
Well, he did until I out-leveled him. So
Ah.
levels matter a lot in this game. Like,
Oh, got you.
so
Gotcha.
I pretty much have to exchange pawns like every 2 levels. 'Cause
What
that
level are you?
increase is huge. I think 32 now.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I will. I mean, I'm about to go on my long break, so I got plenty of time to play. I just hope that it didn't put too much of like a nasty taste in my mouth. Because I mean, even like right now, I'm not like I want to play,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I'll just have to make myself get on and just play for a few hours, and then hopefully come across something where I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
you got me, you got me, you got your claws back in me. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, there's really cool instances like going back to like other places that you've been before. Like something will just trigger after
Mhm.
maybe you've done a quest or how much time has passed.
Right,
And
right.
it's pretty cool.
I mean, it is. I've noticed that's kind of part of quests where it's like, hey, wait a few days, come back.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So that is kind of cool.
So
Kind
even
of
if
letting you know, like, hey, something may happen.
Yeah, pretty much. So even if you're like fast traveling, it's not going to matter because you want to, by the time you go to Melv back to some other place and then back
Right.
to Melv,
Yeah.
usually a few days have already passed.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So if you're just fast traveling, that time can't pass. You fucking stay at the hotel for 4 days.
I know.
I don't know.
Is that 8,000 gold later?
Yeah. Oh, definitely make sure you do the quest to buy a house.
Ah, damn. See, I didn't even know. That
Yeah.
is cool.
It's
that
in
sounds
like
helpful.
it's in
though.
like the main city. I think it's like 20K gold.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's not much at all.
Yeah, no, it's definitely worth it. Way better than spending your money on fucking hotels.
Yeah, it's expensive as a bitch.
Yeah.
Can you customize it?
I don't know.
I
Not
always
entirely
like
sure.
that.
I don't think so.
Really?
At least not
We
yet.
could do that back in Morrowind.
It's true.
That was 22 years ago.
Was it? Was it really?
I think.
2001?
Well, I think
2002?
I think 2002.
Holy shit.
I think Morrowind was like 02, 03. Gun to my
It
head,
would have to
02.
be because Oblivion was like 06.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember Fable was like 04. Ah, man. That decade. Chef's kiss. So good. But that's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got too.
Yeah, I know we've been talking for a while.
We talked. We shit talked the hell out of Dragon's
But-
Dogma 2, but it's also a good game.
Yeah,
So it's
I hope if you listen to this, before you fucking make a nasty comment, hopefully listen to the whole thing
yeah.
because I thought we were very fair.
I think so.
I think we were very fair, and I admit that there's again. I preface many times, 10 hours in. You know, this is coming from someone who only put 10 hours in.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, I don't be like all the fucking sheep on the internet. Make your own opinion on things. Don't listen to other people.
yeah,
It's that
that's true.
fucking easy.
Yeah, and I'm guilty of that. I mean, I think we all kind of.
Well,
if
I mean,
you've
it's
watched a review and then based your purchase on the review. I guess we're all kind of guilty of that if you've done that.
I mean,
which I
yeah,
think a lot of
I
us
think a lot of
do.
the obviously the trailers are gonna look phenomenal, so that people buy
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
and we definitely got our hopes up.
Yeah.
In those regards, but yeah, it's so easy to fucking put out a headline nowadays and be like, oh, they got microtransactions, blah 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 blah, and then what it really is not a big
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah. No, I
Um,
mean, I definitely admit, like,
But it's just the way they did it was kind of scummy. But everybody
Yeah.
else, like in the comments of a fucking Instagram trailer of Dragon's Dogma or something, you're going to be like, oh, fuck this game, microtransaction, dumbasses, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
When they don't even know what they're talking about because they've seen another headline that says Dragon's Dogma has microtransactions, but that's not really what it's about.
Yeah. Yep.
So Dragon's Dogma runs like shit,
On the PC.
looks like shit in some aspects.
Yeah. I'm not saying, oh, dude, this game looks and runs phenomenally on console.
Yeah.
But unless your PC costs you $3,000 to $4,000, get it on the $500 PS5 or Xbox One.
My PC is over $3,000 and it still runs like shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it definitely runs better than mine.
Maybe. I'm not entirely sure about
I mean,
that.
I guess I really don't know. But I'll have to turn it on just so you can see. It's not pretty, dude.
No, I'm fucking skipping in the cities. Yeah.
Dude,
And
it's
I've had
more,
quite a
it's,
few
it's more
crashes.
cinematic, okay?
Actually, I haven't had crashes. I've had freezes to where I have to manually fucking end task, and that's annoying.
I haven't had any, like, the game's not to a point where it's, like, game-breaking, unplayable.
Yeah.
I haven't had anything like that.
No, I haven't had any, like...
I've heard of some people, though, getting pretty fucked with, like, saves.
Really?
Just not being able to, like, load and stuff
God.
like that.
I'd fucking... Ugh.
Well,
That's the worst thing about the save system, is, like, if that happens, you're fucked.
when funny, I admit, when I was trying to refund the game, that's what I put in. I was like, it won't let me load. It seems like this is a common problem. This game isn't finished. That's what I put. I was hoping they would be like, hey, this guy can't say, That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking a guy's actually reading. It's a fucking robot. They just look at my hours and they're like, nope, denied.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Sorry, dude. You got more than 3 hours played.
I know.
Or whatever their refund system is.
I think it's at least 99% of the time if you have more than like 2 hours.
Ugh, that's awful.
Yeah. Which I think is just kind of shitty anyways. Like, I get
Yeah.
it. But if for an RPG where you're like, all right, most people are probably going to put at least over 100 hours into this game. I put 10. Like, I know you can beat games in 10 hours, but not this game.
Yeah, you got to be like Kingdom Hearts 3. And to negate any refunds, just fucking that first 3 hours, all cutscenes.
Oh, my gosh.
That's how it felt like, dude. When I started that game, I was like, when the fuck am I going to be able to play?
It's just
There's so many cutscenes.
It's just one of those interactive games. You just hit the button at the right time.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, fuck. But,
Dude, that's what Azura's Wrath was. Remember that game? You just beat in like one playthrough.
Yeah,
I was just watching you play.
It's so fun,
That's
though.
what that game is. But
Yeah.
it's awesome because it's badass.
It is badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just become this fucking god.
Dude, I wouldn't mind, like...
They need a sequel of that.
Well, I was going to say if I could see what that game looks like on the PS5, dude,
Yeah.
I would spend $60-$70 just to have some friends over and us just fucking play through that in one
Mhm.
sitting. That'd be badass.
That would be badass.
Dude, that's such a hidden gem. No one talks about that game.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that game's awesome. And you
Yeah.
played that on...
It was like PlayStation Now.
Oh, okay.
Or
I
whatever.
almost did a PS3 emulator, but...
Nah.
Yeah.
No, sir. No lawsuits here.
What?
No emulation.
That thing would probably run like shit anyway.
I know. I think that's one they haven't perfected.
For whatever reason.
I know.
They're like, oh, the Switch just came out. Oh, emulator out.
Seriously.
Week
Like,
2.
it's fucking insane.
What? The PS3's been out for 30 years. We're still perfecting it.
Damn, that
Oh,
coding's
gosh.
crazy.
Oh, my gosh. No wonder they couldn't develop for it.
PlayStation has no games.
Oh, gosh. All right, well, seriously.
All right, guys. This has been episode 75 of the Hardcore Podcast. Peace.
You're a goofy goober.